Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wine Wednesday. This is your girl Ashley with Homes by Ashley, and it's Wine Wednesday, of course. And thank you all for joining me once again. And tonight I'm going to be talking about something that is very important when it comes to purchasing a home, and that is how to finance the home. So I'm going to give you guys an overview of 4 different types of loans that lenders can propose over to homeowners. And these are if you are a first-time home buyer, or even if you are a current homeowner looking to refinance or purchase another home, if you need like a little brain refresher on some of your options. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Before we actually get started, I got to go ahead and shout out my homeboy Lindman's over here. Tonight is a Moscato night once again, and I have Lindman's over here. These are 2 for $10. You can't go wrong with cheaper wine, and it's definitely going to still get the job done, as I've said before. So shout out to Lindman's on that. So now, without further ado, let's cheers to owning a home, and let's get started. Okay, so the first loan type that I want to talk about is what you would call a conventional loan. So a conventional loan is pretty much any loan that is not backed by the government, and I'll get to some government-backed ones in a second. But conventional loans are typically the best type of mortgages and loans to get, but they are pretty difficult to get. Typically, the conventional loans are for people that, number one, have a high credit score. So if you are someone that has like a 720 or better, you have a very good chance at getting a conventional loan. I have some notes over here too, because Lord knows I don't remember everything. So, so when you have your conventional loan, you typically, again, have a higher credit score. You have reliable and almost stellar employment. So someone that's been at their job for quite a few years. And you have the ability to be able to put down you can put down a pretty good amount, 20%. If you can put down 20% of the loan amount, then you're actually pretty good. So you only have to finance about 80% of that. So again, this type of loan is pretty difficult to get, but there are people that can get that. And actually my buyers that I have that I'm working with right now, we're closing next week. They are actually conventional loan people as well. And they're also first time home buyers. So if you talk to your lender and you guys analyze your savings, your employment history, your credit score, your all that kind of stuff, and what the down payment would be, what you can afford when you're going through the pre-approval process, if you can afford to do a conventional loan, those are actually pretty good loans to get. Those are your best ones for sure. Not a lot of people are able to get those, but they are there. So those are your conventional loans. Again, not backed by the government. Next, I'm going to mention the FHA loan. This is from the Federal Housing Administration. This particular loan is probably the most common type of financing that people get when they are getting their first home, or if they are going to purchase another home after they have sold the current home that they're in. And the FHA loan is backed by the government. So that's something that is very good for the most part. For a FHA loan, you can put down as little as 3.5%. So that can be your down payment, and that's really not too bad. You can certainly do that. You can also put more if you want. It looks obviously more attractive if you can put more down than just a 3.5%. But the other thing that you do have to realize that you're going to have to pay up front and throughout the life of the loan each year is what's called PMI, which stands for private mortgage insurance. Some lenders call it something else, but basically what it is that this is the insurance that the lenders have that they're charging you to pay for, to make sure that if you go into default, they still have the security of being able to still own the house and purchase the home back from you if it goes into foreclosure, and then the ability to be able to sell that home back onto the market once it is handed over to them from the actual homeowner. So you don't want that to happen. However, PMI is something that has to be paid if you're doing an FHA loan. Some people don't like it, but the analogy that I use is if you loan someone some money and you want insurance that you're going to get that money back, you might want to charge them some interest or something like that. So that's what the private mortgage mortgage insurance is, the PMI that these lenders do have. So do understand that it's not a penalty, but if you were also someone that was loaning thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to someone, you certainly want some type of insurance that you're going to get that back. So don't think of it as a bad thing, but just understand that these lenders have to secure themselves and their money as well. So that's just how that goes. So an FHA loan, another thing that I do want to say about an FHA loan is that, again, it's pretty easy to qualify for, and I use that term loosely because don't think that you can have a 500 credit score and think that the lender is about to be okay with that. It's probably not going to work out that way, but just know that it is one that is most common and most people are able to actually qualify for that. The next one that I'm going to talk about is, let me see, what do I have on my list here for you guys? Of course, the VA loan for the veterans out there. Salute to every last veteran that we do have. For the VA loan, those are particularly for your people that are active military, are also veterans, and then it also includes their spouses. There's a few more details in there that would qualify someone for a VA loan. But for the most part, a person that has had history in the military, if you're a veteran or your spouse, that's been, with you and everything, that the VA loan is something that you can do. One of the biggest benefits of a VA loan is that you actually do not have to put a down payment. Most other loans, or I could probably say all other loans, you do have to put a down payment down on the purchase of the home. But with the VA loan, you don't have to. And of course, that's backed by the government because it's for the vets and everything. So it is with the government. So that is something that's really good for the VA. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, you also don't have any PMI. You don't have any private mortgage insurance that you have to pay with VA loans. So you do get a lot of freebies with the VA loan, and as you should, because again, if you are a person that has served this country or has, gone through the whole military thing, you definitely deserve to get a free at least have a way to get a home without having to worry about paying the same as everyone else, because you certainly haven't done everything like everyone else. So that's definitely a good thing. So 100% financing. Oh, another thing with VA loans. If you guys remember in one of my other videos, I did talk to you about closing costs that as a buyer you must pay, but you don't have to worry about closing costs or actual brokerage fees when it comes to having a VA loan as well. So that's another good thing that does come with that. And let's see, the final one that I will say here is the USDA loan. Now, a USDA loan is for someone or for families that are a little on the low income side. Having a low income does not mean that you will automatically never be able to afford a home. And that's what these USDA loans help our families and individuals that have a lower income, but they do only cover homes and properties that are in a rural area. So if you're someone that likes to kind of live the rural life where you have the flat lands and don't really have someone living next to you, you have a lot of land with it, then you primarily would be able to qualify for a USDA loan if you're on the lower income side as well. So that is something that you can do if you are a person that is on a low income side but wants a more rural life in a rural property area. You can do that. However, do know that with USDA loans, the actual property has to qualify for their guidelines to be counted as a USDA loan property. So you do have to check those eligibility requirements in order for you to find out if you can apply for a USDA loan. So that's just seriously a quick rundown of different loans and mortgage options that you do have as a homeowner. And understand again that these options are not all of the options. I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of them. At some point, I will be going into further detail of each of those, and that's going to be something that I'm most likely going to do on a live presentation. And I'm going to be bringing in some of my other guest speakers that are well versed in those particular programs. And yeah, I'll be doing that very soon. So be on the lookout for that. But on the flip side, I do want to say too, the overall thing about financing a home, really make sure that you are picking the right lender that is for you. All lenders are different. Different lenders have different programs, have different perks for people that are first-time home buyers, people that, just got married, people that may be getting married to someone and then purchasing a home. That person may have purchased a home within the last 3 years, but you have your spouse that can still qualify for first-time home buyers because you're getting a house together. So that's another thing that's a perk. But all in all, when it comes to financing a home, just make sure that you talk with your lender. Be very open and honest with your lender. They're going to check your credit score. They're going to check your unemployment, or not unemployment, sorry. They're going to check your employment history. They're going to check the consistency of your employment history. And other factors will come into play, because keep in mind, these lenders are loaning you some of the biggest amounts of money that they have ever loaned to people. So you have to understand that with a big, huge chunk of money that's being loaned to you, there are certain qualifications that will be taken into consideration before you sign on that dotted line. So definitely make sure that you are well aware of your financing, be well aware of your savings, how much you have of that. Be mindful of how much house that you can afford. I cannot stress enough how important getting pre-approved is when it comes to purchasing a home. That's going to give you at least the foundation of knowing how much house you can afford and how to move forward. And you will also be able to know that information and be able to choose which mortgage and loan options are best for you. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. And another thing that I would encourage people to do is make sure you do your own research. Even before you pick a loan lender, make sure you do your own research. It comes with, know what you know. Learn what it is that you need to know, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask those questions so that you can know what it is that you will be able to qualify for. And definitely take the time to save your money. If you're even in the ballpark of wanting to purchase a house, just be mindful of your finances. Nobody can buy a house just with nothing. If you're a cash buyer, on the other hand, you sitting on a gold mine. Really, if you can pay cash, that's obviously the best option. But there aren't a lot of us that are able to purchase a home just with cash. That's something that is a whole nother conversation for another day. However, do know your finances. Cheers to that. Other than that, I think that's about everything. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of some of the top options for financing a home that have come to, that people have asked me about, and which ones they think is best for them. At the end of the day, you always need to make sure that you check with your lenders. They're the ones that are going to give you the full-blown history and story as to what you can afford and how best to finance that home. So keep those things in mind and make sure that you're doing that. And another thing that I want to add too, on top of financing, that's also something that I will be assisting people with that work with me that are either first-time home buyers, or if you have bought a home before, that's something that I will be helping people out with. So that's something that I'm giving over to you all just as a dropping of a nugget. But other than that, just wanted to give you guys an overview of that. Definitely stay tuned. And in the future, I will be bringing in more people that will be going live with me for Wine Wednesday, where we're going to be talking about things like financing options. And they're going to be giving their expert advice as lenders as to how to best qualify for different programs and what programs are out there for people that are purchasing a home. There are programs for first-time home buyers, just like there are programs for people that are refinancing, as well as people that are purchasing a second home outside of the one that they will be currently selling and that they currently live in. So that being said, thanks again for joining me, your girl Ashley with Homes by Ashley. I want to give you guys a cheers for the rest of the week, and I will see you guys next week. So have a good week, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys then.